Good to see you. Yeah. I know. So how have you been? And then like look at like this. The colors are good. Oh yeah, it should be a minute. We moved on. Go pretty short. Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This be turned down some? Or maybe I could,
The recording. Further away.
hear me? Hear me now. Okay, good evening. Welcome to the tree lighting and annual December VAR meeting, which always coincides with the tree lighting. But I think most of you have been before us before and know what our procedure is and what we are set up to do in terms of looking at projects to ensure that they fit in with the typical architectural scene in Somerville, and that we maintain good style, and typical proportions that are typical, and that's the main thing we do with the exterior of the buildings. And our first order of business will be to approve the minutes of the last meeting. I have someone make.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from the November meeting. And I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So our first order of business is.
We do have some public comments, David,
Oh,
that I just dropped on the floor.
okay. Then we'll have public comments.
I don't think anyone here has signed up for public comment. If you're presenting, you didn't have to sign up. No? Okay, so I will go ahead with these three letters. To whom it may concern, as one of Somerville's oldest institutions and its first library, we take seriously our responsibility to protect both the character of our historic building and the integrity of our neighborhood. We are writing to express our support for the Meals on Wheels of Somerville and their proposed improvements to the small home adjacent to our property. Their organization has been respected in our community for many years, and the work they do, feeding the homebound and individuals in need, meets the most basic of human needs and strengthens our entire community. We have reviewed the plans they shared with us, and we believe the improvements will not only help them serve more people, but will also bring positive, thoughtful updates to the home itself. Importantly, their plans seem to improve the building from its existing state and provide appropriate design for the residential scale and historic character of our street. We appreciate the board's careful stewardship of Somerville's architectural heritage, and we are confident that approving this project will uphold those standards while supporting an organization that provides an essential service to our. Thank you for your time and consideration. Leslie Fuller, Terry Barnes, Mary Comer, Beverly Cuthbert, and Katie DePapi, the Tim Run Library Executive Committee. Dear members of the Somerville Board of Architectural Review, as lay reader at Bethany United Methodist Church, I am honored to write in support of the Meals on Wheels of Somerville and their plans to renovate and operate from the Little Blue House on our campus. Bethany has long partnered with Meals on Wheels in ministry and service, and we have seen firsthand the tremendous impact this organization has on our community. Over the years, our relationship has grown into a true partnership of shared mission. Many of our church members volunteer regularly to deliver meals, assist in special initiatives, and support the organization in prayer and service. This collaboration has strengthened both our congregation and the community we seek to serve. The presence of Meals on Wheels on our campus has amplified our ability to reach neighbors who are homebound, medically fragile, and in need of compassionate care. The Little Blue House renovation represents an exciting and meaningful next step in this ongoing ministry. The vision for the space is thoughtful, community-minded, and aligned with Bethany's longstanding commitment to sharing God's love through service. We have complete confidence in Meals on Wheels stewardship, leadership, and ability to execute this project with integrity and excellence. I wholeheartedly recommend approval for the construction and operation of the Little Blue House. Meals on Wheels of Somerville has proven itself to be a strong partner, a devoted servant to our community, and a faithful steward of the resources entrusted to them. With appreciation for your service to our town, David Powell, lay leader, Bethany United Methodist Church. All right. And the last one, dear members of the town board, as parish administrator at St. Paul's Anglican Church, it is my pleasure to write in support of Meals on Wheels of Somerville and their plans for the Little Blue House project. Meals on Wheels has operated from our church campus for nearly 40 years, and throughout that time, they have been an exceptional presence within our community. Their organization has consistently demonstrated respect, reliability, and a spirit of genuine partnership. Rather than referring to them as tenants, we have always regarded Meals on Wheels as mission partners, an extension of our own calling to care for neighbors in need. During these decades, their volunteers and staff have become a familiar and cherished part of our daily life at St. Paul's. Their ministry has brought blessing upon blessing, feeding the hungry, caring for the homebound, uplifting those who are isolated, and providing hope through simple acts of love. Their presence has enriched our congregation and strengthened our shared service to Somerville. The move to the Little Blue House represents a natural and exciting next chapter for this vital organization. We fully support their transition and believe the new facility will allow Meals on Wheels to expand its outreach and continue serving with excellence for generations to come. I give my wholehearted recommendation for approval of the Little Blue House renovation and operation. With gratitude, Kathy McGrew, Parish Administrator, St. Paul's Anglican Church. And we can move forward to our first item.
Okay, our first item is old business, which this will be 410 Central Avenue.
Yes. So I'll go over the staff report quickly. This previously came before you, and the applicant did not have construction drawings at that time, so the board requested that the applicant come back. They now have renderings and building plans within the packet that was sent to y'all. Nothing has changed except I believe maybe slightly the orientation of the house, but I will let the applicant address any questions y'all have about the changes that they have made.
So last time we were here, y'all asked us to bring color renderings, so we did submit those color renderings. We also brought examples of the window itself. It is the historical window that y'all approved for our house originally, same as our a garage, or for a car garage that y'all approved. It will be the same colors, which we have the color schemes here, and then the metal roof. It is essentially a replica of the house beside it. So we took all of your feedback and we're here to request permission to build it.
Well, I will start off. The drawings, the renderings and the elevations are not the same. You have vertical siding on one, horizontal siding on another.
Right, because the plan calls for vertical siding, and we wanted to mimic our current house, which has horizontal siding.
Becca, wouldn't the drawings have to depict that?
Not, I mean, you could still approve it with the condition that the plans are revised to be requirement.
Okay.
I for horizontal.
Same as our house.
Yeah, I think the color rendering show it as horizontal.
It does.
What about it? So this is on a slab?
Yes.
Okay.
Last time we were here, there was a porch and we were asked to do away with the porch, so therefore we took it to a slab.
Right.
And it will be painted just like our house. It will be a brick slab and it will be the same brick as, that's the color rendering, and that's the same color as our current house.
So none of your photographs depict any of that.
It's the gray part below.
You can step up if you'd like to.
The way it's drawn here, or the shows, it's gonna be about 2.5 feet above grade, so it's gonna be about 3.5 block. So it's a raised slab, it's not a slab on grade.
Right.
So,
Okay.
yes, and it kind of predicts that with the,
Gray on the
yeah.
rendering.
Because that's it's very sloped right there.
It's not too bad, but we raised the pool. The pool is very similar to what it shows in the picture. So we're just moving along that same elevation to the house. But the front right corner of the building is the lowest point, so that will probably be closer to 3 feet. But it's we were trying to mimic the house.
Right,
So-
right. So that gray band that's drawn at the bottom,
Yes.
is that gonna be brick?
Brick. That's then painted.
Just a gray painted?
No,
bank.
it's brick and then it's painted the gray color, just like our current house.
Are there any other details that we should know that,
No, ma'am, I
and
don't.
the roof is gonna be the standing seam?
Yes, ma'am.
We have a couple of pictures that we had shown of the house. It's exactly the same as the house. The around the windows. That's exactly the way.
The
it's
trim mount
going.
will be,
Same, shutters.
and see how the brick is painted? It's the exact same.
So the windows, are they gonna be 4/4 or 2/2?
It's 4/4.
Okay.
Well, it's two windows with 4 panes in each window.
But can you see how I'm having trouble?
Oh, sure. And
Um,
I think that's considered a 2/2. I could be wrong, but I could be wrong.
Wait.
But whatever it is.
Whatever's
it's
drawn on that
same
is
as-
2/2. But all the house is 4/4s.
It is the same as the house. Yes. ma'am.
Okay, so the same as the house.
Is on that stoop that's pictured there, that appears to be beaded edge board and the rest of the house is plain clapboard. Is that the only place where you have the beaded edge clapboard?
Um,
I think
I'm sorry, is that the?
The ceiling?
The ceiling or, I'm sorry, what part of it is that question?
The wall, clapboard wall around that door
Yes, sir.
has got beaded edge siding.
So that is the original to the house. The house was built in 1836 and we did not change any of the.
But is the rest of the house beaded edged or
It's
standard clapboard?
new, it's standard. Cementous board is on some of it. When we renovated the house about 7 years ago, anything that was needed to be replaced, it's in the sheet that y'all approved. It said that it could be converted to the cement.
From the masonite siding that we did have originally, it could be taken
Yes.
to the cement board. And so that was just in the back of the house, which is not pictured. This is all original black cypress and it was good. So we were able to keep it, but the new house will be cement board.
And smooth. I think that's.
Smooth,
what y'all
right.
wanted.
So I noticed that there's a fireplace on the inside.
On the
There is.
inside.
Is there a reason why the chimney's not exposed?
No, I mean, it's a vented, gas fireplace and it'll just be completely on the inside.
So will you have shutters
We will.
Yes, ma'am.
on this?
Yes, ma'am. And on the.
On
the
the
picture-
renderings, it has all the shutters on every window.
And did you have lighting on the outside anywhere?
Yeah, there was a
Was there?
sheet somewhere.
Near the front door, but that's it. And then there's ceiling fans on that back porch.
So on the, I remember y'all came before us in October, didn't you?
We did.
So there was, I know Tim and Rachel, they're our architects that help us out on the board, and they had mentioned a band board at the bottom where the
Yes.
Still
the
band board.
slab comes up to the,
Yes.
can that be added, something like that?
It will, I think the rendering actually shows something similar to that, but, that's.
They just
standard
wanted more
construction.
detail.
Yeah, that's standard construction, so it would have that band, before the horizontal siding goes on.
I'd like to believe it's standard construction, but it isn't.
Well, that's the way we always.
Yeah.
Build, but yes, sir, I mean, it will have a band
Yeah.
around the base between the foundation and the framing.
It's the same color though.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, just
Yeah.
making sure that y'all understand it wouldn't be trimmed
Right,
out or anything.
right.
Yes.
But it
So-
adds that visual interest there. that
Just like the
mimics
window.
house.
Yes, ma'am, just like the windows have that same.
Right, right.
There'll be corner boards.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
Just like.
Yes,
the
sir.
house
Sorry.
that you just finished, it
Okay.
has a band.
Just so y'all understand, all of those details that they're talking about will have to be shown for building plans. that we submit to the government. So that's.
No.
Okay.
no, no.
Can, I know on the last, you just identified those requirements on the certificate of approval. So,
So there, yes, several instances where that can be done, and that's completely their decision. But either way, if it's not updated now, or you have to come back before you get the building permit, the planning cannot sign off on
Okay.
it.
That's fine. Okay.
And at this time, are you proposing the fence as well?
I
And
guess.
that's drawn in on.
I mean,
It's required around the pool, but whatever, if we need to, we can. that is the type of fence. It's a black wood. I
Aluminum.
think what y'all, aluminum that y'all have approved. In the area.
but that went it's my understanding that that went under the pool permit, that when the pool company, because the pool is already in the ground, it's not completed or anything like that, but they're the ones that are doing that piece of
The
it.
But-
fencing part?
Yes.
But somebody would need to come and get
But
that.
that's okay.
The fencing is approved at a staff level, so, it would have been approved. That has to be shown in the building code, they have to have. That's somehow.
Right, right.
And I know on the renderings, the shutters are made to look as if they would be truly operational. So you just need to make sure that they're right sized.
Yes.
To appear to be operational.
Same.
Becca, can you go to the slide 14? So that's the part of the cottage that faces the road. Or what are your plans for that? It just looks so long and vacant on that end.
It's only 20 feet wide, so it may be a little deceiving in the picture, but landscape would go in front of there. I planted hydrangeas. I need to make sure that there's a word there, but that is the plan.
Are we ready to make a motion? Yeah.
Yeah, my thought is like, I like a lot of I like that it's gonna match the house. And I like a lot of the things that you've put here. Can we make a motion that would, that they would adjust the plans to actually show that? Because I like, this here doesn't match everything that you're saying. But the things that you're saying seem really
That's
wonderful.
right.
Yeah.
So to me, on the porch area is where you can see, on the back porch area is where you can see that it's the raised slab a little bit. So see the
Yeah.
steps, does that make sense? Okay, and it would be, the brick with the color, that's why we did it in the color. And then, the shutters aren't a problem and the band board's not a problem either. We can, if it's possible, if y'all give approval, then we can do it conditional on the band board and the shutter size.
I'm good with that.
We'll make a motion.
And Becca, the site was approved by the planning department.
Yeah, it met all zoning requirements for the location.
I believe that particular lot, this really interferes visually with the pristineness of that lot, the historic value of that lot. Ideally, structure, pools and things like that are built in the backyard.
We had this conversation last time. There's 3 houses that I'm happy to take pictures of that are within walking distance that have pools on the side of their house. We're within our limits. The pool is already there, so it's not moving. So we're trying to enhance the vision with the house in front of it, and it mimics the historical house. So
Right.
as far as from a visual standpoint, we kind of heard the same thing about the garage when we put it in, and we have had numerous people very pleased with how the garage turned out. So we would, you know, it's our home and it's hopefully our forever home. And so we want to make sure that it looks well. That's why we've gone through the effort of making sure it mimics the traditional house, but it is a large lot.
Yeah.
It is a big lot. Yeah.
But it's right on that curve. You know, so when you're coming from town and going on down Central, you do see the whole lot.
What's interesting is before we started the renovation 7 years ago,
Nobody
most
knew
people
the
never
house
even knew
was
that
there.
house is there because they're paying attention to the curve, not looking
And
down
the
a straight road.
yeah, the
houses.
azaleas,
So, But
the azaleas were very, very high.
Yeah.
So when we came here before, people didn't even know that there was a house there. So I do understand what you're saying, but you know, as far as where the location is at this point, the pool's already in the ground. So that's a done deal.
I had the same thing with my house. The azaleas were so high, nobody even really knew there was a house back there very much. And then when you cut it back, it's, you know, it's there. So
Correct.
And then if you put landscaping in, that'll help.
Oh, yes,
too.
ma'am. 100%.
Yeah.
It's all getting landscaped. It's
Yep.
just trying to figure out once the structure is built, what complements the structure as far as landscaping. Yeah, my hope is azaleas. I mean, I'm sorry.
hydrangeas.
Hydrangeas. I'll make a motion that we approve it with the
And
shutters
the
and
shutters.
the band board.
in horizontal side.
It's horizontal
And
siding.
and the roof.
And the metal roof.
Yeah, the metal
Yeah.
roof.
So just to be clear, I think the motion might be better to, because you're saying all of the details will match the house. If that's truly the case,
Yep,
then
100%.
I think that will cover it.
Okay.
Staff will handle that, via plan review. And if we need to make a site visit, I'm sure you'd welcome us out. there.
Absolutely.
So, I think that'll
Yeah, I wasn't sure really how to word it, but that's
change
my thought.
Just make a motion to approve the design,
to match.
match the house.
Beth,
No,
Kinsey,
Yeah, I mean, I would second it.
and I yes also.
Thank you.
Was there a second on that motion? Or did you-
Oh, he seconded.
no.
I think we,
Second.
I'll second. I think we kind of skipped that, but
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next is 119 West Third South Street.
So this is the project that we had the public comment on. Renovation to an existing structure for a new Meals on Wheels operation at this location. This was just beyond the level of being approved at staff. Staff did not see any issues with the proposal. The building does not have a historic rating. There are not many historic materials that I know of in this building. I have gone through the site with our arborist. He has confirmed that there won't be a tree care plan required by an arborist, just tree protection for the trees on site. And then the neighboring large oak tree that you can see in some of those pictures. There are no other conflicts with the zoning requirements for this property. So just minor renovations, and I'll let Justin tell you more about those.
How we all doing? To be honest with you, 90% of what's gonna be taking place is all interior. We had some problems with egress, given the commercial kitchen, that's being added to the interior. So that's the main point of our submission. And if you want to kind of flip to the bottom, I can kind of show you what that looks like from the inside and the outside. It's basically just moving the door to a double door that's gonna sit more toward the front of the street. That will be seen from the street. And then coupled with our submission is a 1-for-1 swap for the roof. The roof is just old and outdated, and we're gonna match the same existing, black shingle that's on there now. So just a 1-for-1 swap of the roof, and then a new entryway for the door. Now, there will be an exterior door too, but you can't see that from the road. That's all takes place on the back side of the house. Just for egress purposes, as it being used as a meeting and a commercial kitchen space for them to assemble meals. That pretty much covers, the siding's not gonna change, the windows are not gonna change. The shingle color is not gonna change. There'll be no additional painting other than the door. I did outline the paint colors. You go down further in the submission. As well as, there you go, you can kind of flip through those. There is one light we're adding. We went ahead and outlined that light for you as well as the door submission, placement of the door. You can see the red cloud. That is where the front door is currently, and it's just being moved to a French door outswing toward the edge of the street for the purpose of the meals and the egress of the building itself. So it's code compliant.
Just to be sure, the footprint is not changing of the building.
No.
It's just basically the doors.
Essentially, yes. That the little screened in porch area you see right beside the red cloud, that is being enclosed, but I was able, because that's going to become office space. But I saved enough siding from the renovation to where it essentially is just siding that's going there with the windows. So it really comes down to just the door being added. That's obviously the most kind of in your face change more than anything else, other than the roof itself, but we're matching with just be a new one. And then I outlined the light. That's the page above that one, is just, one light there for the door. Very simple, just kind of matches everything else on the house. And then as you go further down on the submission, that's the door itself. That's just all the technical data for the door. And then our paint color. And then I go into the shingle specification. Same thing that's there, architectural black shingle. And I just layered that with the estimate from the roofer. That way you see that everything matches the submission that's on the drawings and was proposed as well. So everything aligns. And then there's just some shots of, what's around it. That's why I went with the gridded pattern within the doors, just trying to make it make sense along with everything else. I know eventually they want to change all the windows, and at that point we would go to more of a historical gridded window to make it cohesive with the rest of the neighborhood. So this would be a first step in that, getting the interior renovations done, get the roof replaced, a good, strong, tight building, and then later on swapping the windows and having it look more uniform to the rest of the neighborhood.
There going to be any type of need for a dumpster or anything on that site?
Most everything will be done on the back side. Everything will be around the back. It won't have like a true dumpster pad or anything. It'll be more just rollouts.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, most of their meals are assembled. They will be cooking eventually once they hire a new chef, but as of right now, it's just getting them in and kind of getting them secure in there to where they can start, producing meals. They're kind of in limbo land right now.
That's a daytime operation, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
How quick do you think everything's done and you guys are in there? How quickly do you think everything will be finished and then you'll be in there?
Well, if everything goes well tonight, we're hoping to start sometime first of the year. similar to our last submission when I was in here with y'all. Get it knocked out. It won't take long. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
90 to 120 days.
Regarding your comment about eventually putting in more historic grids in the windows, I think that might be a mistake. I think this is a modern house. It doesn't really lend itself to having grid patterns that are consistent with some of the older houses in towns. I think it might make it look less good than leaving it the way it is.
And that will be probably several years down the road. And that will probably be coupled with a siding change as well, which may be more of, you know, a longer discussion about how we really want the house's exterior to look. Presently, yes, I do agree with you. It is a more modern take with the triangular windows and the gables and everything. So I'll leave that up to them for a couple of years down the road, but I hear you loud and clear. Absolutely.
I have a motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve everything as submitted.
A second.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Beth,
Aye.
Cindy, Jane,
Yes.
me, yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
We're now at 117 South Cedar.
So this proposal similarly, wish we could have approved it at a staff level for you and saved you the time. But because of the high architectural rating of this property and it being currently upfitted to be commercially used again, staff could not approve the installation of an ADA compliant chairlift, which they have to have per code. Other than that, I don't think there was that much to the staff report, and I'll let y'all explain your vision here.
Yeah, my name is Jared Hellman. I'm a co-owner at Odd Duck Market. I'm gonna just introduce myself and then let Mr. Karpus do the heavy lifting. We've grown to love this house. It's a pretty pristine example of a Victorian Queen Anne house from the 1870s, and the landlords had a lot of suitors that came in and wanted to make sort of wholesale changes to the floor plan and the facade. And we've done the opposite of that. We've tried to preserve the house, as much as we could, to the point that not a stitch of wood has left the premises, and anything that we have to have removed via the upgrades we've made, kind of in kind to plumbing and electrical, has been reincorporated into the house in the bar that will eventually serve as our coffee bar. So mostly just wanted to introduce myself, thank you all for your service, and say that we look forward to doing business in Somerville.
Chris Karpus, and I want to let you know, I originally took a look at this and looked at putting a ramp in the front, but between the street and the house is a pretty limited amount of space, and the floor height's at 48 inches. So I would have had to have had at least a 56-foot ramp in the front, and it was all consuming. And so we know that we definitely wanted to make sure that we were providing a accessible route to the main entrance. And so basically what we're proposing is taking out some of the bushes, just as we're looking at the house in the picture there. If you go down to one of the pictures, probably, yeah. Becca, I think that it's like that on everything I send you, and I probably need to do something to prove it. Okay. Okay. So basically there are some very tall bushes along the front, and we're proposing removing some to the left of the front steps, installing the lift, and then planting bushes comparable to what's there in front of it. So it would be hidden from the street, but it would give equal accessibility and to the folks that want to visit there. So there's not a whole lot to it, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
So you're removing the entire, all the bushes to the left or most of them?
No, just enough to get the lift in.
To get
And basically, we're going to create a little pocket with bushes
Yeah,
and just hide it.
and then they
Bushes
go,
in the front?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so then they go on the side to enter the lift.
Yes, instead of going up the stairs, you just go around it.
So is it a kind of lift where they can operate it themselves? Or does someone have to?
Oh, they'll operate it
Oh,
themselves. Yeah.
Okay, because I know some of them, someone has to open the door and it's
Yeah,
okay.
probably no.
Okay,
No assistance.
and then will you have to take out some of the railing?
The railing there, we are going to have to take some out.
Obviously,
What's that?
obviously.
Right. And so, obviously we want to do that minimally. And, but in order to make this happen, that's just kind of where we are. And knowing these guys, they will, he's right there. Knowing these guys, they'll find something to do with the bowsters that they take out, because I've never seen anybody so attentive to the value of a historic piece of property. And it's going to be amazing when you see it done. But,
So the permanent position of the lift is down
yes,
the ground
yes,
unless someone is using it, but then it goes back down.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
You can control it.
Get one that's, originally the cheapest option is put in one where a handicapped person is removed from their chair and placed in a seat and lifts it up that way. And we just didn't think that looks good or was particularly functional. So the lift that we're installing, they roll the wheelchair onto it.
And is there a, like a ramp that you would have to put on the ground to actually, like maybe roll the wheelchair into it?
It's all self-contained, and so there's a little metal ramp. It's just really short, just to get up to the platform, and it's probably right up in there in that drawing in the upper right corner. But it's all minimal. It's just a self-contained unit that we wanted to provide for their customers in a way that honors them without,
Looks like it's 3 feet wide, Judy.
it is.
Okay, and what
And it
about,
connects into the sidewalk.
so on the other side of the steps, would you also bring those like to kind of match? on the
No,
left,
no,
or
we'll just leave the
it?
bushes there.
Okay.
There's a existing lattice covering the foundation, and you can kind of see why they have the bushes. But the bushes are going to be there regardless, the way they've been for, I don't know, as long as I can remember. Long time. So it's really just a minimal thing, but we just, because it is an older home but it's going to be a great use for the property and a lot of equal access for anyone wanting to come in.
What is it going to become?
It's Odd Duck Market they have coffee and sandwiches and a lot of cool spaces you just hang out in and is that a very good description?
Yeah, so it's, we're a sort of hybrid cafe and market, so we'll have, full coffee program and then, breakfast all day, lunch sandwiches, and then we'll have a collection of local, provisions like produce and protein and sausage and stuff like that. It's kind of like a general store as well.
There's,
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
right, that's been clarified.
The library area.
Staff approves.
Yeah. This is aside from this, but the library area, it looks like there's some interesting little sitting areas inside. Is that gonna be like a little library?
Yes, sir. So there's 5 distinct rooms, each with its own like mantle and fireplace. So 2 of them will be sort of like bistro, like seating. 2 of them will be more market focused, and then the one in the back right will be more of like a library co-working type space, a little bit wider.
Yes,
Hopefully.
they've got some old
Cool.
church pews that they're bringing in for seating and some of the seating. It's going to be really cool.
Have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve as is, as presented.
I'll second.
Yes.
MC,
Yes.
Jane,
Yes.
me, yes, also.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
Good luck. This is
This
great.
is
Yeah,
They're very
everybody's
excited.
love.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to do a preview day when there's a holiday parade on the 14th, so y'all come by and check it out.
Okay.
Okay.
We will.
Nice. We will.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you.
And we now have 107 Joyce Lane.
How you doing?
So this will be in addition to the existing single-family cottage that is located on the property. Do have some hand-drawn printed copies, or a copy, if y'all want to also look at that. And it goes over the project. And if you'd like to explain your vision, please go ahead.
Well, the vision is, we've got a whole herd of grandkids and we need a little more space. Really sensitive to the architectural component of the house is pretty simple. So really, I just want to add on to I guess that would be the east side of the house. A couple of bedrooms and a bathroom. Being sensitive to the elevations matching what we have. It's kind of a hodgepodge. Was listening to the overhangs about earlier. There isn't a overhang on that house that matches. It's different on all four corners. All right, so the house was built in 1890. The original structure is what you see with the steep pitch around the 12-12 pitch. That was the original structure back in the 1890 when it was built, and it was been added on to. We purchased a home, what, 11 years ago? I think 11 years ago. So as I was doing the drawings and looking at the pictures, of course, that left front side, that was added on later. And I guess when they added that, long before we purchased the property, they saved a window and they had to move the door to save the window when they put it. And that's actually the kitchen there on the left side. But looking at the drawings as I was going, the addition, it really, to me, looks a little bit lopsided, the house now. So I tried to do the addition to where I could drop that roof down and actually just give that front balance. And I think the window that we'd use in the front would match what we have. Those are wood windows. The rest of the windows in the house are vinyl replacement windows. So the sash and the trim work and everything is compatible with what was there before. So I'm looking at doing hardy plank siding. I don't want to pull the siding off and save it on the side because that home has had blown insulation done in its cellulose. So basically we want to build a separate entity that's attached and do hardy plank around. And basically the trim details would be the same as what is currently there, which is 2x4. Some areas it's a little bit wider. But the entire house right now, I don't know so much on the later addition, but the original structure, framing and siding was all black cypress. So it's been there for a while and no problems with it. So trying to be mindful of, we have a really beautiful camellia area over there. And I have just to take out just a few small camellias to actually get that addition put in that area. So other than that, that's pretty much what we're looking at doing.
So how much of the current house has got hardy plank on
I'm sorry.
it? Excuse me. How much of the current siding on the house is hardy plank?
There is no hardy plank on the house right now. There's some areas where it's been replaced with, there are additions, they were added. It's got some smooth siding. That's wood. And that would be on the west side. There's some mix of smooth and rough sawn on the east side, which would be where the addition is. That's kind of a mix, so I'm assuming at some point in time there was some replacement done. It's a really rough sawn siding. I think it would be hard to find. So my feeling out was if I set the front of the addition back just 3 or 4 inches, create a little deeper overhang, it would give me some shadow lines from the street to where a rough sawn cedar would, or rough sawn hardy plank would be less noticeable because it's not actually tied into the front. But it's going to be difficult to lace the siding. The siding's all been done with cut nails. You cannot save that with cut nails. It's next to impossible. I've been doing this kind of work for 50 years and cut nails are a disaster. So to me, I feel it's better to leave what's there. Let's go ahead and try to match best we can with the siding. Sometimes tearing out isn't always the best thing.
Well, I've, over the years, been able to get rough sawn cypress from Merlin Myers or from Southern Lumber. And
It'd have to be rough.
Yeah.
It's-
so big circular saw marks.
But from a maintenance standpoint, the hardy plank made sense to me. I wouldn't do vinyl on it, of course. But there would be some cost provisions going to all wood siding over hardy plank. I don't know what those dollar amounts would be at this point. We're basically in a kind of preliminary. I want to make sure we're going to be able to do it. If you guys need some other details, we can furnish those, but I'm trying to get the ball moving forward.
I think your plan looks good
Thank you.
and makes sense. I'd just like to see that if you have old rough sawn lumber on the rest of most of the rest of the house, you see if you can't find some to match or similar. And I know
Yeah, like
modern cypress ain't the same as old cypress.
yeah, I would have a hard time. I haven't really calculated how much is rough sawn and what isn't. I know the east and west, the original structure, they're rough sawn. The front, of course, is now. The back, well, the east side is probably half and half smooth, half rough sawn.
I think generally when we approve hardy plank, generic hardy plank, whatever, we like the smooth as opposed to their one that's got the
Rough sawn.
detailing in
Yeah.
it, because it isn't really rough sawn. It's got an irregular surface on it,
It's an
but
embossed
right,
grain.
it's not typical rough saw that shows the saw mark.
Right.
What is the underpinning on the proposed addition?
It'd be on a crawl space to match the existing. And with the international codes, that basically, that needs to be its own separate entity because the original house has got piers. There's no continuous footing. So I have to build this as basically a new structure from a building standpoint. But it would all be, I mean, it's on a crawl space, so. And the rest of the crawl space has been stuccoed or parged, whatever you call it, and that would match existing, so.
And you said some of the windows are newer in the house.
Yes,
Do they have simulated divided lights?
they do. They're all, one single divider in the upper and lower sash, to match the front. That's what's there. So, I mean, it just makes sense that it would look better. I mean, I wouldn't want to change that appearance.
And the structure of the window surround would be the same as
Correct.
old with a sill and
Yes. Yes.
stiles.
Yeah, so we'd have a thick sill. Everything's to match. And when you're doing projects like this, it's very hard to define except saying we're gonna match it because so much stuff is field verified and, you know, I couldn't give you exact dimensions what that sill is right now, but it's kind of the gist of it is the whole thing, when you do additions like this, it's all field verify anyway, because we're trying to mirror basically what's there. So,
Yeah, what we don't want is windows put in picture framed.
right. Yeah. So.
I'm impressed with all your drawings.
Yeah.
That's-
I'm somewhat embarrassed by them actually. 'Cause
Except for the misspelled words.
I'm sorry.
No, no, I'm impressed. It's a lot of detail.
Well, I spent some time at the table with my drafting board and, you know, it's not like old school when I had drafting class in 7th grade where I actually had a nice board and you didn't get things dirty, but everything changes as you do plans. It's like a domino. You change this, it changes that, it changes this. So it's kind of like you have to finally kind of get this thing together. So, and for time expediency, I got to get this thing going. I got to make these decisions. And
You have those grandkids.
well, we've got one actually where he's playing in the steel drum band here at the thing tonight. And I was thinking, man, this is disappointing. We had this tonight. We had to be here for this. So.
Yeah. Hopefully there'll be other performances.
Yeah, so if y'all want to come, it's really cool.
Yeah, I think the plan looks good, how you have it
Thank
on
you.
that side.
Yeah.
As far as the material, I'll defer to the others too.
Yeah, and I appreciate your effort to make this look balanced, you know, on.
Yeah, it just really looks odd right now to me.
Yeah, and even though, the additions on either side are, you know, set back at different, stances, it looks from the street view, it looks balanced. And
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Actually makes the addition easier to drop that a little bit too. Instead of, there's many times I've seen jobs where they try to match roof lines together and there's something quirky about it. They just don't look right.
Lines are tricky.
So what was the original square foot of the house?
The original house, which is a 14 by 30, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was the original house. The original house cottage. It had a fireplace in the middle, double-sided fireplace, and 2 rooms, no bath. And then I don't know when they added the kitchen or that kitchen wing. I don't know when they added that. And then the back, I'm not sure either when they added it. So I think this would be the 3rd edition on that little thing. So I'm actually adding on to what the original house was. So
Right.
14 by 30 is not very functional these days. Maybe for some, but not for me. But as we decorated and, you know, did some interior work on the house, it's upgraded to current energy standards. But the design of the house inside is still, we bought the house, it had sheetrocks all over the walls, had 11-foot ceilings in the front room. And I pulled sheetrock off and it's all wainscoting, the ceilings and the walls and the whole 9 yards. We took it off. So it's all, when you go in there, it looks like you're going into a Norman Rockwell print. So really, we were talking about that the other day when we put decorations up with the ceiling and it just, there's a lot of modern touches in the house that you do not see that makes it efficient. So, we've really been sensitive to trying to keep the integrity of the house and that would continue to the outside too. You know, I don't like to shortcut stuff, so I'm pretty meticulous about things. So.
Well, you made a motion, right, Jane?
Did I?
I thought you did.
No, I was just
Oh,
saying I'd
we
like,
have a motion.
what about the sign? Okay.
I think if he can find rough stone siding, cedar or cypress at a reasonable price that doesn't screw up his plans, that would be ideal, but I would not have a problem with it being smooth hardy plank.
Smooth hardy plank or the embossed grain?
Smooth, I think, would be better
Okay.
unless your rough sawn looks like embossed hardy plank as opposed to having the saw marks on it.
Well, there is some saw marks on it, but I'm saying the texture of it. I'm not saying it's rough sawn in a quarter sawn configuration. There's a few pieces on the house that has that. But it's rough sawn on the parallel surface of the grain of the wood. So, and I'm not saying there isn't some areas where it's quarter sawn, where it's like truly rough sawn. But it's like a quarter sawn floor. You can get flake in the floor if it's quarter sawn, but not all pieces are that way. So I don't know. I would have to look into that basically. I mean, I there's budget constraints and I don't have any, I haven't put any cedar up since we lived in Illinois back in '80s. So I have no idea what the expense side of it is compared to like a cement board.
And you couldn't just put it on the front, right? That wouldn't.
Well, I would be happy to go over and look at his siding along with the two kinds of hardy and
See which one best represents the house.
yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I set it back, because I knew I was not going to get a match unless I bought rough sawn. And even at that point, but trying to connect that corner is difficult without lacing in. You just don't want to butt your siding up on the corner. You've got to lace it in. Now I'm getting into the situation where I'm going to damage existing siding with the cut nails. Then you get a whole other can of worms are
Right.
opening up, especially with the
That's
blown
why you
walls.
that's why you're doing it as a separate, basically a separate building.
That's why I set it back.
Yeah.
Plus it gives me a shadow line from the front of the street to where it makes that hardy plank rough sawn look a little bit deeper. Because there'll be a shadow line there basically from the sun. So that offset gives you a little bit of depth.
Well, so that he can move the project along, I'd be glad to go over when he's got samples there for me to look at.
I'll be happy to do that. We're retired, so I'm home most of the time.
So by now.
I need a project. We can get this going, that would be great. So
So we could approve it. So that he could get started. And then leave the siding for later.
yeah, and I guess for me,
Okay.
a more and I understand what you're saying. I appreciate that. Reasonable, that's a little bit. It's not definitive, I guess, in a certain sense. What's reasonable, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe reasonable to you may not be reasonable, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that would be something that we would need to figure out. So,
isn't a number that we go over. Typically, when the board requests, with a motion that you look into their preferred option, staff will just verify with you, at the time of permitting, what was the result of you looking into that? If it wasn't going to be feasible for your project, you would just let us know.
Okay.
So, I mean,
I mean, if I could do it for a couple $100 more, $300 more, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
If we're talking 3-4 grand,
No.
that's throwing me out of budget.
I wouldn't push it there.
Yeah.
I would think y'all could make a motion to approve it as submitted, with the final details of the site. If you decided via subcommittee, you could do a site visit like done before.
However that works.
Yeah, we have to post it and we have to have it. Or you could just make the motion that you would prefer they went with the cypress, for the cedar available, and if not available and advantageous to their budget, if not, that they go with specific to this.
How many people constitutes a subcommittee?
So I might mention, and I need to look into the siding a little bit more, but the reveal on that siding is fairly thick.
Yeah, so that puts you in the
7
architectural
Yes. So
hardy plank.
hardy plank is 3/8 or so, maybe. I don't remember.
We have an architectural one
Oh, they do.
that is thicker,
Okay.
and that translates into more expensive too.
You're right. Right.
Would you be comfortable with, getting the approval with the final decision on details that we just come back before the board when you gave that?
Sure.
That's-
Yeah, because my goal right now is I've got an engineer lined up to do my engineer drawings. My goal tonight was let's get most of it through. If there's a few details, we can work through those. So to me, if I can get approved, get my engineer going, he's 4 weeks out, 5 weeks out. We'd like to get this thing rolling sometime in January, depending on plan review, that kind of thing, how long it's going to take. So the siding, I mean, it's just, there's probably not a happy place there,
Well, one happy place is you're not gonna put up vinyl.
Exactly. So like I said, the overhang is still up for debate with the guy I'm gonna have doing the drawings, because I have to figure out which one we want to match. I mean, this old house, on one side I've got some exposed rafters, other side I don't. Front I have a box. It's like, eventually I would like to make it all the same and put a beaded overhang on it, but
Well, you have a lot of variety to choose from.
There you go. That's right.
that's what you get when you get an old house that's been bumped in, it's like, what do you do? So,
Yeah.
I think y'all can handle this with just approving it with final details to return to the board. And we can figure out if that's a special meeting where you guys go on site or we just do it here, like.
that'd be fine.
So I'll make a motion that we approve the proposed addition with, you coming back for the site,
Okay.
the review of the siding,
Okay.
the window and everything is to match.
Yes. Now the side windows, we don't really see that side of the house because of the camellias, and where there's a house that faces Magnolia. That's their backyard, but in between there's bushes and trees and all that. There's a fairly large buffer. My concern was we want to match the front. That's what we want to match. So I guess my question is, if it came down to whether it's being affordable or not affordable, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't priced that kind of siding out for 30 years. Would there be an objection if we're able to do the front in a rough sawn to match as close as we possibly can and do Hardy on the east side and the rear of the home? Unless we want to instead, huh? Okay. I got a little homework to do, which is fine. That's all I've been doing for the last 2 months.
Yeah, there, at least you have options on,
Right.
on different,
Right,
products out there.
right.
And they make some great products, so.
Well, there's a maintenance issue too on cedar, plus installation has a tendency to split a lot. But cedar looks nice when it looks nice, but it can go to hell pretty quick. Pardon my French.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
do some investigating and we can come back. So I'll continue with my motion that, approval of the addition with the windows and all as presented, and you're coming back with siding options.
Okay,
And, is that all we need to?
That was
Second?
I'll second that. Yeah.
all in favor?
I,
Right.
thank you very much. So to come in next month, I guess, I mean, I'll have it ready. Okay, okay. So did somebody want to,
Really great.
they want to come out to the site? Somebody or,
yeah, can you do that?
And in fact, maybe, and there's more than two of them, it has to be a posted meeting.
I got you.
So I'll explain some of that and what our.
Okay.
You know, based on your.
Okay, so at this point right now, I can cut loose the engineer on this drawing.
Yes,
Okay, perfect. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Is there any new business?
Other than you've meant to see it, so.
Yeah, I would like to add a new business thing. I would like the board to request that the town alter the date of our first meeting in December so that it does not coincide with the tree lighting, if at all.
David, tell me that, yeah.
That's right.
I'll second that.
I think it's unanimous. All right. Have a motion that we adjourn.
Make a motion that we adjourn.
Second,